We're on Dubby.
Well, on Dobby, don't. Hey, you get off of my back, wait. Get off of my, whatever, my plow, wait.
Okay, this is the stuff in the car that is, the trunk is also full, that I'm bringing to the storage unit. Darren helped me load it, and we got a new storage unit to go with our other three. But the good news is we're going to be consolidating all of them into this one, because it's big enough to hold all of them. But one's in Truth or Consequences. That's going to take 2 trips at least, maybe, I hope only 2. And then a couple of them are here, and that's going to take about 1,000 trips. So it might be slow. Well, pretty damn sure it's going to be slow. So I don't know if you guys can see this is my t-shirt I've been painting on, and oh shoot. And then these are my painted Rockstar jeans I've been working on for some time, but I thought, what the fuck? Pull out the Rockstar pants, the Rockstar jeans, not pants, but they could be pants, but they'll still be called Rockstar jeans, and get to work on them. Because for a couple years during COVID, right before COVID, I spent a lot of time over at a coffee shop nearby the house that during COVID went under. But I actually got in the paper in an article with my picture for being their main regular there. I was there all the time. I was like waking up at 1, 2, whatever, noon, whatever, getting my ass in gear and walking over there. It's just a few blocks from the apartment, and I'd wear my art fashions, and then I'd paint them there. And that I worked on for like 2 years, so I've got a lot of them. I've given some away, sold some, whatever, and been very, 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 very nice to me to do that. But I've got a lot left that I haven't put out, and I was like, well, I'm gonna work on those. People really love my painted fashions, my painted furniture, or our painted furniture. Darren and I have collaborated on some painted pieces, and then we loved them so much we kept them. So but I'm getting ready to, I don't know, I think, do you want to tell them, Dobby? I'll tell them, that's right, I'll tell them. What we're trying to do at this point is take a big leap, make a big leap. Take a big leap. Wait, Bema. Well, we're actually trying not to leap. Because every fucking time we leap, we crash into the side of the cliff and crawl our way down and get maimed and have to fucking get back up. Wait, Bema. Yes. So I'm really anxious to make a big leap right now. And I am waking up, I've got extra time lately. Well, I feel like I do actually have extra time, kinda, for a little while at least. And I'm like, well, then I want to get my ass up at, like, today I was probably about 11, and get my ass to work, loading the car with stuff, and taking it to the new storage unit. And I'm just, but, I don't know. I don't know if anyone would believe me, but maybe you do from watching our show. But I'm a workaholic. I love to work. When we lived up in the mountains, up in the RV, I got really mad. You guys have seen me complain and get upset and stuff like that on our show. And I got really mad, and I told Darren, what the fuck? I'm gonna have to you know, turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger because of all this fucking work. Because living up there, it was just constant work. Plus, we were students, full-time students, and meth heads, so we had to, you know, do a lot. And, let me turn that back on. And up there, we had to cart water. We had to, it was just a lot of work living up in the mountains and being students. You see it on the show, whatever. Think whatever you think, but I don't know. I don't know what you see, but I'm a damn... So what I decided was, if I'm going to be working all the time, I'm going to fucking love this shit. I'm going to fucking love it. So I started to love it. And I started to love it so much that I was working day and night. When we got into this apartment, I wasn't sleeping at night, and I was working all night long. Not all night, but, you know, well into the night. Then I'd sleep late, of course, and then I'd get up and work all day. Well, that's because people would call it hoarding. I call it collecting. Now I kind of call it hoarding, but maybe, like this one lady that I met, said, you know, it's not all bad. You're using it to you can use it to your benefit. And I always knew that it would, at least I intended it to be used to my benefit. Of course, it was it's been a process. So, so since shit was stockpiled to the ceiling all over the house, then I had to be a workaholic. I didn't really. I could have just said, let's get rid of all, yeah, whatever. But that's not how it worked. I did have to throw a lot of stuff away, but now I'm to the point where I've got, and I gave, I mean it, about $60,000. $60,000 because I tracked it. Not each item, but I would get a sense of each load that was donated to the needy in town. And I would kind of track it. So I got up to about $60,000 worth of donations that I've made to the needy in Santa Fe. That includes the clubhouse, the Pete's Pets, and various other charitable organizations that I don't recall the names of. And okay, let me think. Including thrift stores all over town, and I mean truckloads of stuff to thrift stores. And because I really I had a deep attachment to all this stuff, and I didn't want it to go to the trash. I've had to since throw some stuff away. I cried a lot over that, and I overworked doing it. But, you know, I finally overworked myself to the point where I just couldn't keep doing that. And so I've been kind of building myself back up where I can work a lot, but not overworking. Because I like to work. I love to work. But I want my work to be productive work, where it's actually producing something beneficial in my life. The homeless and the needy in town got a hell of a lot of benefit out of that work. So, you know, I'm not trying to get credit for it, but I also felt ridiculed by my collecting. So I did start to track it so that people would know that I was benefiting Santa Fe. And so I think that I, you know, have a right to, at least for people to say, yeah, she contributed to the community. So I don't know. I hope so. But anyway, I know I donated $60,000 worth of stuff, though. because I figured it when I went into Savers one day and saw my own stuff with the price tags on it. And so I started to be able to estimate how much each item was going to sell if it were to be sold or donated. And so I started to track it. So I hope it helped a lot of people, and I hope all of it was loved by, by the people in Santa Fe. And if they loved it, they deserved it. So, and yeah, I cried a lot over being separated from my many children, meaning that stuff. And but I did relinquish a lot of it. But a lot of it, I still have. So I have 3 storage units full of stuff still. I'm still acquiring more all the time, slowly on that. And meaning probably a lot faster than other people, but slowly for me, slowly. Because whenever I didn't have a car, I could go around looking in dumpsters and dragging stuff home all the time. I mean, with a car too, but it's how I spent my time. I'd drag shit home from the trash and sort through it and clean it and stuff like that. And then I didn't have anywhere to put it but inside my house. So then we'd sort through that and donate it, load truckloads full of stuff and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I didn't really mean to talk about all that. Well, whatever comes out, comes out. It is what it is, Dwemer. So now my goal is to make this work for me.
That's always been your goal.
A lot of it I saved to build a tree house. And a lot of it, in the meantime, has been used for the greenhouse, which is a community greenhouse that Darren primarily takes care of, and I occasionally help. Occasionally other neighbors will help too. So let's see what else. Well, let's just tell them we're trying to make a leap, that we need to make a leap, and the way we're making our leap is by not leaping white them. Leaping lizards, white them. Yeah, because for me, I don't know why, because, I've been very high functioning in my life. Like I tell you guys all the time, I've got all these degrees, high honors. I've been in, actually, if I haven't been in it, it was because I didn't have the $75 or whatever to pay to be in it. But I was invited to be in every honor society, that just about every one that exists. So, I mean, when I went to school at one point, I said to myself, I'm not just going to go to school. I'm going to do this right. So, I graduated with my bachelor's degree with...
Let me tell him, Grandma. She graduated with a bachelor's degree with summa cum laude and MOU Linguist Honors in English. And she was a McNair Scholar for at least 3 semesters and worked on research projects with her mentor. And, whoa, people, let me stop first. Okay, with her mentor. And she worked on 3 papers presenting in conferences all over the country. And I did 3 papers as an undergraduate, and presented in conferences all over the country. And I was supported by my mentor. She couldn't go to the conferences, but she supported me and helped me in preparing my paper and preparing to go into graduate school. That's what the McNair Scholars Program is for, and I received 3 stipends for doing that work, plus attending a lot of classes and other resources for helping me get into graduate school. That was as an undergraduate.
Then, as a graduate student,
Let me tell him, Grandma, she got an MFA in creative writing, poetry from the Wichita State University, and she got a distinction on her oil thesis. Her oil thesis. That is a collection of poetry that she defended in front of a group of people led by the famous and highly successful poet Albert.
he's the poet.
The poet Albert Goldbach. And she received distinction on that, and then for tests she got high pass, and she was also the president of the English Graduate Student Association, as well as the representative before that. Then they voted her up to that president's position, and then
and then I was in Mortarboard Honor Society and several other honor societies. And then when I went in to get my first associate's degree, I got it with high honors or whatever. And then my next associate's degree in film, I was a student ambassador, student leader.
she was an officer. Was that right, Grandma?
Yeah, an officer.
An officer in Phi Theta Kappa, an honorary member. They honorary membered her because they wanted her in there because she was so good that just meant that they paid for her to get in there, didn't they, Grandma?
Yeah, they knew I didn't have the money, so they made me, and actually Darren, and each of us honorary members.
And then she became the vice president of Phi Theta Kappa.
Yep, I was the vice president of Phi Theta Kappa. So, with leaving out all the other adventurous parts of the story, I've done that. I don't know why I'm going over this long list. Well, one of my friends told me, you need to make a list of the things you've accomplished and remind yourself of what you've accomplished. So there I am. I'm making a list. That's a short list, but that's part of it. I forgot why I was telling them that.
You're showing off and bragging, Grandma. You're showing off and bragging.
They probably think so, but fuck them. Because I'll tell you why. I did do that. Whenever I received my summa cum laude degree, the bachelor's degree, I gave birth to a child. I was pregnant one semester and gave birth to the child. That's my son, Bo. And still ended up graduating summa cum laude. So I'm fucking proud of myself for it. Here at this college, I received my last degree while living most of that time as a homeless person. So I'm proud of it. You know, I've been through divorces and breakups and fucking every fucking thing imaginable during that time, and I fucking did it. And that is because I worked hard. I'm a hard-working person. I love to work hard as a student, too. I really do. But, oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying I'm a high-functioning person, that I can be a high-functioning person, that I've been I've taught at the college and university levels. And I'm going to tell you, some of my students hated my fucking guts. But most of them loved me. And nobody was neutral about me. Not at all. And I bet you guys fucking know that.
They either loved you or they hated you.
And nowadays they all just love me.
Fucking thank goodness. You finally won them over.
Yeah, I think they loved me more for having my whole life fall apart and deteriorate right in front of their eyes than anything I ever accomplished and worked hard to accomplish.
Well, whatever it takes, Grandma.
Yeah.
To make them love you.
Good point. I like that positive spin. And that's another thing that I'm really working hard to do. It's to think positively. And I watch our show and I'm so dang negative. And I'm like, dude, you should have been positive during that time. Yes, it's challenging to be positive when things are weird, but it's imperative. That's exactly when you got to be positive. Like right now in my life, I'm going through some serious, for me, they're serious changes, just like big changes that are demanding that I stay positive, and because everything is at stake again, and I don't like living with everything at stake, but it seems like that's what happens when things get better. Like how you have to step out over the cliff and then the bridge will appear, that kind of thing. But some of us step out on the bridge over the cliff and go, oops, there wasn't a bridge there, So I have to make sure that there's a bridge there. And I realized where the bridge comes from. It comes from positive thinking.
It sure does, doesn't it, Grandma? You think there's a bridge out there, and it's gonna be there when I need it. And then you take steps in faith out off the cliff, and the bridge appears under your feet.
Yep. That's the important thing, is it's under your feet, not just appearing somewhere else. It's got to appear under your feet.
It appears under your feet, and then you keep going, and you have to trust and have faith. And I gotta tell you, my grandma has had faith, but not in necessarily the things she needed to fucking have faith in, right, Grandma?
Yeah, that's an area of weakness I've had. I've had faith in bad things instead of good things. And whatever you have faith in will prove itself.
And it fucking did, didn't it, Grandma?
Yes, it did. So, I'm changing a lifetime pattern of negative thinking, and it's taking everything I've got to do it.
But you're doing it. That's what matters, Grandma. You're doing better than you've ever done, and you're doing it. And if shit falls apart along the way, it's gonna fucking come back together better. I've watched it, I've seen it, I know how it works too. I've been doing it. So have a little fucking faith, keep remembering it, and don't give up, Grandma. Don't give up.
Okay, I hope all this cheers you guys up. I don't really know if we accomplished anything, but thank you for listening.
Of course we accomplished shit, Grandma.
There's the car again.
Of course we accomplished shit, Grandma. All they have to do is believe. Believe, have a little faith in themselves, have a little faith in the universe, and think positive, or you're going to get boiled shit back, right, Papa? You're going to get back what you're sending out. And by that I mean, if you're sending out negativity, you're going to get negativity. If you're sending out positivity, you're going to get a little positive back. I don't know how else to say it. That's the voids, and go for it, do your best, and be forgiving of yourself if you fuck up, because you will, right, Papa?
Yeah. Bye. Thanks for hanging with us. Tom's words.